Hey guys, the year 2025 brings a fresh wave of real-time strategy games that can captivate both genre veterans and those just beginning their journey as commanders. While we haven't seen many entries in this genre so far this year, I've managed to find a few worthy candidates. From classic military themes to futuristic conflicts on distant planets, I've gathered the most promising RTS games that are set to define the tone of the genre this year. Kaiserpunk. This game combines a city-building simulator with elements of global strategy. Set in an alternate 20th century, the core idea is to create your own city-state. You'll have to not only build metropolises, but also design a complex system of production and logistics management. Every step, from constructing factories to optimizing transportation routes, requires planning and strategic thinking. All of this unfolds in a changing world where global events directly impact your policies. A distinctive feature of the game is its focus on expanding your influence. Kaiserpunk isn't just a construction sandbox. It features an active world map where you'll fight for resources, forge alliances, or clash with other states. Roman Triumph. This is the building of a Roman settlement in northern lands full of danger. The game combines typical city-building mechanics with a combat system and the mythology of the era. Inspired by Banished, the developers took the best elements from classic games in the genre. Roman Triumph features citizens with needs, trade systems, relationships with gods, fortifications, and legions of soldiers. But raising an empire won't be your only task. You'll also need to manage your army and build defenses for the city. And you won't just be defending against barbarians. As your territory grows, you'll also face mythical beasts. Grit and Valor 1949. A dieselpunk real-time strategy game with roguelite elements, throwing players into an alternate reality. In this world, World War II dragged on, and the battlefield became overrun with giant combat mechs. You'll take command of a squad of these machines. Every battle is a dynamic challenge that demands split-second decisions. The core gameplay revolves around real-time squad control. You'll need to build powerful mechs and strategically choose elevation, cover, and enemy weak points. A standout feature is the large-scale battles against regional bosses, generals who command colossal mechs. The roguelite aspect comes into play when you return to the resistance base after defeat, where you can redistribute resources, upgrade your squad, and head back into the fight. Crown of Greed. An original strategy game with simulator and RTS elements, inspired by the classic Majesty, where the player doesn't control the kingdom directly, but through a motivation system. Heroes act independently and respond only to rewards, requiring the player to manage the economy, contracts, and resources with precision. The game takes place in a dark fantasy world with elements of Slavic mythology, and each session combines city building, resource management, and indirect influence over the course of battles. The project is being developed by a Polish studio and is expected to release in the second quarter of this year. It has already received positive feedback for its fresh approach to army control and the depth of its gameplay mechanics, despite having a steep learning curve. Tempest Rising. This is a modern RTS inspired by genre classics. The game focuses on traditional gameplay with base building, resource gathering, and direct army control, all wrapped in modern graphics, flexible difficulty settings, and 3 unique factions, each with its own style of warfare. Special attention is given to capturing neutral structures and controlling key points on the map. The project is aimed at both RTS veterans and newcomers looking to dive into fast-paced, dynamic battles. The cherry on top is the soundtrack, composed by the original Command and Conquer composer, whose iconic rhythms recreate the atmosphere that Westwood fans love. Empire Eternal. an ambitious real-time strategy game inspired by genre staples like Empire Earth. It spans the entire evolution of humanity, from the Stone Age to futuristic technologies. Key features include a modular construction system that adapts to terrain and fully developed naval logistics, greatly expanding the player's tactical toolkit. The project emphasizes scale, strategic depth, and player freedom, attracting the attention of classic RTS fans. Despite being in early development, Empire Eternal is already generating interest in the community and looks like a promising step toward the genre's revival. Red Chaos, a classic RTS in the spirit of Command and Conquer. The story unfolds in a post-apocalyptic world where two opposing factions battle for control over vital resources. Expect fast-paced base building, resource collection, massive battles, and the use of superweapons. The game's mechanics call back to the golden age of the genre. Simple economy, manual unit control, upgrade systems, and a focus on tactical flexibility. The project includes a single-player campaign, co-op mode, multiplayer battles for up to 8 players, and customizable AI skirmishes. A demo is already available and has received positive feedback from the community for its pace, visual style, and atmosphere. Developers are actively improving the game based on player feedback, and the full release is planned for late 2025. The Scouring, a strategy game where humans fight against orcs. It's all pretty standard: build a base, gather resources, command your army. Except at night, you'll have to defend against the undead, which adds some variety to the familiar gameplay loop. The most interesting part is that you don't just control an army, you also get to play as a hero. He levels up like in an RPG, finds wearable gear, learns new abilities, and doesn't just wander on his own, but actually leads squads and helps develop the base. The result is something between a strategy game and a role-playing game. Multiplayer includes both team-based and solo modes. The developers also promise full mod support through the Steam Workshop and even tools to create your own. Overall, it's clear they took the core ideas from Warcraft and added a few fresh mechanics. Age of Respair, a medieval city-building strategy with a focus on politics and moral dilemmas. At its core, the game is about building massive castles, managing resources, and developing a stable economy. You'll need to create complex production chains, build walls, towers, and defenses, and form armies to either protect your lands or siege enemy fortresses. It's all presented in a style inspired by medieval Europe, with an emphasis on architectural realism. The key feature is population management, where logistics and defense aren't enough. The morale of your citizens also matters. You decide whether to build churches, taverns, and homes for peaceful living, or rule through fear by erecting torture chambers and terrifying monuments. Anno 117 Pax Romana, a new chapter in the legendary city-building series, this time taking players into the height of the Roman Empire. Ubisoft offers a unique take on the ancient era through the management of two provinces, Latium and Albion, each with different geography and culture. You'll need to develop infrastructure, establish trade, explore new lands, and balance peaceful development with the use of force to maintain power. As always, Anno focuses on atmosphere. Beautiful Roman villas, bustling forums, misty British forests, and realistic countryside settings immerse you in the historical era. The visuals are paired with deep economic and political systems, and you'll have to decide how to govern your provinces through cultural assimilation, economic incentives, or military pressure. Immortal Gates of Pyre, a competitive real-time strategy game where you take on the role of an immortal, a powerful being who commands armies and shapes the outcome of battle. The game emphasizes fast, intuitive gameplay. Every match demands split-second decisions, resource control, and tactical choices based on your army composition and faction traits. The key feature is the unique immortals. Each one radically changes the way you play. Combined with diverse factions and maps, this creates a wide space for experimentation and adaptation. The developers are focused on the PvP scene, paying close attention to balance and esports potential, but they also offer content for solo players and co-op fans alike. Whiskerwood, an original city-building strategy with a bright visual style and an unusual setting where you manage a mouse settlement trying to survive in a world full of threats. As both architect and ruler, you'll develop infrastructure, build production chains, ensure the well-being of your mouse society, and fend off natural predators, primarily cats, who act as the main external threat. The game offers a deep economic system and settlement life simulation where it's important to manage not just resources, but also morale and citizen mood. What makes Whiskerwood stand out is its constant balance between danger and opportunity. Every new building or decision could either save the colony or doom it. In addition to outside threats, you'll also face internal problems like uprisings or food shortages. Panzer Strike, a strategy game that combines tactical realism of the 2000s with old-school visuals. You command German or Soviet forces during World War II, taking part in massive battles with thousands of units across huge maps. Unlike typical RTS games, there's no base building here. The focus is entirely on army control, placing mines, setting up fortifications, and fine-tuning your attacks. The game features detailed armor and damage mechanics, as well as several capture-the-flag-style missions. Repterra, a tense survival strategy with base-building elements set in a world full of dinosaurs. You'll have to create a fortified colony while facing constant threats from prehistoric predators. Smart resource management, defense development, and scientific research are key to survival. You can tame dinosaurs and use them for transport, defense, or combat support, and even experiment with genetic engineering to create unique mutations with special abilities. The entire game revolves around surviving in a harsh and dynamic world. Mistakes are costly and often fatal. It's a game for those who enjoy a mix of survival and base defense. ZeroSpace, an ambitious space RTS inspired by the legendary Mass Effect series. The game combines single-player campaigns, co-op missions, PvE, and PvP, all within one persistent galactic map. Every player's action impacts the global state of the universe. Each captured planet, each victory or defeat shifts the balance of power. It all centers around the Galactic War, a multiplayer mode that plays like a battle royale. At the start, players pick one of several alliances, each holding a small corner of the map. Over time, they expand, capturing planets toward the center. To take a planet, players must complete a 20-minute battle, either solo or in co-op. The alliance that scores the most points wins the planet. Ultimately, the alliance that captures the central planet wins the war. So, as you can see, developers are once again trying to bring back the golden age of the genre, heavily leaning on the style and mechanics of early 2000s games. Whether that's good or bad, I'll leave that up to you. But one thing's for sure, strategy fans will definitely have plenty to play this year. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.